Landmines and jellyfish, welcome back to Knives, I guess, and I won the sharding contest, but my wife is no longer proud of me. Anyhow, for the last 2 days, I've been carrying the Ned Foss that I won from Tim's School of Fish, and results have been good. Like, I think Tim will back me up when I say this thing weighs approximately as much as a Catholic church, but it was very, very comfortable. No hot spotting, no digging in, no nothing. I did feel the weight, though. It pulled that side of my pants down in the waistband, and I had to keep tucking my shirt in, which I don't mind so much just because I like preposterous and huge knives, and this is approaching cold steel pocket sword territory. Like, it's in the butter zone. Let's flick the bean. And, you know, it's been a wonderful carry, and the factory edge, I have found that cutting saran wrap off of pallets is a really good litmus for how good the blade is. And this thing cut through pretty well, but when you hit that single layer, a really, really sharp factory edge will just blast right through it like you're cutting water. This one hung up a little bit, so it's still a very good factory edge. It's very good. However, it just kind of hung up on that single layer. So I'd give that about a 7 out of 10, which is still a pretty good score. And I did have to tighten the pivot up. There was some blade rattle, and that means it no longer drops shut. Like, it's not dropping shut like it used to. But I don't mind because, you know, flick the bean again. You know, when I'm working with it and I'm not thinking about it, you know, I'm doing that anyways. It's a full close. I don't like drop shuts when I'm not thinking because I get hurt. But Tim, thank you again for this. This was a very cool thing to send me. I am going to appreciate it for a long time. I'll probably carry it for another day or two between now and when I do the beginning of the Temu Super Budget Showdown because I do like it a lot. By the way, if you're not subscribed to Tim's School of Fish, go over there and subscribe. He has got a few more knives he's giving away, and when he gets to the Rose Creek Clinch River, I think I said that right, those things are nice. Like, I don't do slip joints because I get complacent and I do something stupid and I get hurt, and that's my fault, but those things I actually would carry, even if I had a way to put a pocket clip on it or do a slip, yes, I would carry it. They got a nice big finger choil that makes an automatic safety for it, and I love the way they look. They are beautiful. But I already won something, so somebody else needs to win some stuff. So go check out Tim's School of Fish, and he also has the kind of energy in his videos that I like to try to maintain here. But as an aside from all that, I'm going to ramble a bit because there's a couple things I want to show you. And one of the first things is one of my favorite fixed blades that I own, and that's this guy right here. And I don't know how well it's going to show up, but yeah, there is some Damascus there. And the cool thing is I made the Damascus with a friend of mine that was on Forged in Fire. He has a hydraulic press, and while I was over there doing some other stuff and we were trying to figure out if we could make our own ferric chloride, we whipped this up real fast before I left. And there's a channel called Mercy Oak Smithing, and that guy has been inactive for a long time, and I wish he wasn't because his videos have been super relaxing to watch. He does really good work. He wanted to do a collaboration, but he didn't realize that I'm like terrible at trying to grind knives and get them right. And my grinder also doesn't cooperate. It burns spots in 1/8 of a second because it goes 1,000,000 miles an hour. And you can't put a dimmer switch on it because you'll nuke the motor in the first 30 seconds. But he did a really killer job with this thing. The ergos are phenomenal. And this feels like a normal size knife to me now because I've been carrying stuff like this in my cold steels. But it's such a good knife. And the cool thing, my guy that was on Forged in Fire, with the resin stuff, you know, the parts that I'm making the beads out of, I've also done jewelry and I've done casting, and I wound up making a lot of fridge magnets because I like fridge magnets and we had none, so I kind of went on a tear. Now, one of the things I did is I have a mold for a little Buddha, and when I make those for somebody and put the magnets in them, I'll pray over them, I'll put the good vibes on them, give it the good juju and send them out. And one of the ones I made was on his hydraulic press in the background of his episode of Forged in Fire. And, you know, that's the closest I'm going to get to being on the show, but I think that's a really cool little tidbit. And I've made my own Damascus, and I think I've showed a long time ago the Damascus Kiradashi that I made from the first billet that I ever made. But this right here, this is 89 layer raindrop Damascus. And I spent 2 entire afternoons killing myself hammering it out by hand. And I started off with a much larger block, but when you make Damascus, the faster you get it together, the less you lose to scale, and hammering by hand, you lose a ton of material to scale. And I used the CRKT Minimalist as my template, and I went for a different blade shape, but the same idea and principle. I think you can see that. And I got so many things right. This is so comfortable in hand, like it fits perfect. It went so good, but there is a massive delamination down the center, which means you can't fix that. You can't grind past it. You can't do anything. And this is just where I made a mistake in not heating the billet up all the way through properly, even though it looked good before I hammered it out, or some scale built up in there that I didn't see. Either way, these are mistakes you make when you make stuff. And, you know, I'm probably going to try something like this again when I get back in the shop, because if you're going to make knives, start small. The one that I showed earlier with the lightning bolts, the fractures all through it, I didn't start small. I went way overkill and I messed up. So I want to do this again. I'd like to have some Damascus, but I might not. But I'd like to experiment with the small neck knife and, you know, figure out how to make my own design. But I would love this thing if it just didn't have that delamination. And I'm so sad about that. But it's been sitting in the shop for a couple of years, just kind of getting up the rust and the oxide and all that. And like I even got so far into it that, you know, I put the channel logo in there. I put my touch mark on it. And you can kind of see the crack also coming through here from another delamination. So that was a bit of a ramble and a lot of asides, but I just kind of wanted to show some stuff off. And I thought, hey, I'll make a video while I'm doing this. I'll catch a couple other things that I like. So all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Thank you for watching the video. And thank you so much for the subscribers. You guys are awesome. We are slowly making it towards 1,000. I love the progress I'm seeing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Help a brother out. Thanks for the comments. They make me happy. And all that being said, y'all have a nice day.